Jesus Christ, there's about 1 million dead elephants up in here. What the hell happened? What? Oh. Yeah, they're pink. Resounding Democratic victory. Lobby in my underwear. Yeah, never mind.
LoatheCast!
Good evening, Leland Motel.
So a duck walks into a bar. He looks at the bartender. He says, "You got any grapes?" The bartender says, "No. We sell booze, and we've got some packets of beer nuts. And there's a jar of pickled eggs down there at the end of the bar that nobody's touched in about 5 years." And the duck's a bit disappointed, so he walks out.
Here comes Patrick Daly with some advice.
If you're coming to a San Francisco residential hotel, you are desperate. You are not on vacation from a good job with your family. There are plenty of nice places for that elsewhere. You might work service jobs and need a place to get started, or you might have just lost most everything and are looking for a rock-bottom shelter to try to keep your remains together. Or you are a freak on a dive binge, or a binge of some sort, but that's your business. So when you approach these places, you will get what you get and nothing more. Most of these hotels are up above some street-level retail establishments. Those might sell urban clothing, might be shitty bear souvenir shops, might be porn stores or rock paraphernalia shops or tattoo parlors. Books, Bibles, or a belief of betterment are rare. All that has been abandoned. You'll most likely have to buzz a button to get in through the locked door at street level. There might be a dirty black metal caged door, another warning for the normals. So you've buzzed and been buzzed in. Act fast, because if you lag, you lose. You're now at the bottom of stairs that lead up. If you're new to this, you're nervous. It'll take some time for that to fade, and when it does, you'll know the trip and bound up those stairs with expectations and experience. You might not have that yet, so I'll go slow. Yes, the carpet is ragged. The handrails are painted with 100 coats of off-white paint and years of wear. Many hands have clung to that rail. The proof is in the grime. You're here for a room, and you know that. These details aren't going to register. You climb the stairs. At the top, maybe you've made a turn and had to climb some more. Maybe not. But now you're at the front desk. This is not the Motel 6 you know. There's a window of some stripe. Behind that window is a person who never saw this as their goal in life. No happy young women in smart uniforms. The clerk is as afraid of you as you are of him. Don't worry. This is when you will know if you want more of this place. You're not locked in yet. Escape is still possible. May I help you? Is what you hope for. You might get it, or you might get a what? Or worse. I'm looking for a room? You add that upturn in your voice out of hope or fear. Not good. Don't do that. Now, they've got rooms. It's a hotel, after all. Whether the rooms that they've got are habitable or not is really the question. And whether or not the clerk is dutiful enough or willing to rent you one is yet another question. But let's be optimistic. Clerk says yes, they have a room to rent. So far, so good. But this guy might just sit there and stare at you. You asked a yes or no question, and you got your answer. Can I see it? You ask, if you've got any sense. You have to look at what you're getting. There are no refunds, says a sign, probably posted there at the window, on yellowed paper, faded marker, curling edges, saying in many ways that city life is hard. Please?
And we'll pick up the second half of that story in a little while.
Okay, tell me the story.
Okay. It's a Saturday afternoon. I received a phone call from the maintenance guy from my hotel stating that they thought that they were cooking, there was guests cooking methamphetamines in their room. And I asked why he thought that. He said, well, because the sprinkler went off in the room. They said, the sprinkler went off in the room. He said, no, the fire alarm went off, but it said it was the sprinkler head that had been removed. They contacted the room. They hung up on them. Maintenance went up to the room. They wouldn't let them in. Then, all of a sudden, this smoky substance seemed to be creeping into the hallway. Maintenance man, being of past using, knew what scent he had smelled, and decided that at that time he just let me know that they were either cooking methamphetamines in the room or they were smoking the hell out of the methamphetamines in the room. And that we should probably call the cops. Call the police. Police show up. They don't know how they're supposed to go about entering the room legally. They finally get to the hallway and they're sitting there and they decide that they're going to just burst into the room. Suddenly they change their mind. They tell us all to go back to the front, to evacuate the third floor, and to wait for them to tell us what to do. Meanwhile, they're standing in the hallway. We're watching the video camera. We see one of the guys come out of the room. He walks towards the edge of the stairwell, and he sees these assholes through the fucking glass pane in the stairwell hallway doorway.
She's the cop.
She's the police. He turns right around. He walks back to the room, and I told the maintenance guy, I said, hey, dude, let them know that they know that they're there. They haul us up the room. They burst into the room. They find 2.5 ounces of cocaine rocked, ready to go. These people go to jail. The next night, we have intoxicated people in the room who decide to destroy bits and pieces of the room, tear down curtains and such in the room, and then suddenly call the front desk to say it smelled like cat piss in the room.
This is different people.
This is the next day.
Same room.
In the same room. The exact same room. Now, these people have finally exited the next day. The very next night, a guy comes to the front desk. Looks like he's in a pretty big hurry. He needs a smoking room. We only have one smoking room available for one night. And he said, okay. So I need a credit card. He said, I don't have one. I said, well, I need a $75 deposit. He said, all right, I'll be right back. He zooms out to his car, comes back, grabs the money, pays a $75 deposit. Gets to the room. Half an hour later, the police are calling for him. And they want to know if we checked this guy into the hotel. And we said, well, yes, we did. They said, well, he's armed and possibly suicidal. Now we have to evacuate. Meanwhile, this gentleman who's running for governor, Mr. Brady, his entire family is staying in my hotel. 5 rooms worth of family members staying here for the election. And all this has happened during the 5 days that they have been here. And we've had to evacuate them twice from their rooms with babies. And it's always during nap time. So the housekeepers have been up to the room, and they said that, somebody must have slaughtered a skunk in that fucking room after they haul this guy out. Now it comes to the attention that he has also unwrapped 6 packages of Max Firm Stamina pills. Erection enhancers.
Good God.
And now he's going to jail with 12 pills of Dick Hardner in him. And he's laying on the floor in the hallway. And they had to carry him out of the hotel. So the housekeepers get to the room, and they have discovered this stuff, and they are sure that they're going to find some pot in the room. I go outside because there's police out there searching his vehicle now, and I walked out there and said, are you guys going to tow this vehicle? Because they told us to gather his belongings and pack them into the car, and then they would tow the vehicle. And he said, yes, but don't worry about getting things. We already got them. And I said, oh, okay. And about that time, I noticed the stale smell of skunk also. I looked into the trunk of the police vehicle and noticed over 2.5 pounds of beautifully formed green buds in Ziploc baggies in the trunk of the car that we're going to Helltown. And we put that room out of order for the rest of the week.
Not going to rent that out anymore this week?
It's cursed. It's out of order.
And that was Lynn's cursed hotel room story. Thanks for sharing, Lynn.
He comes in on the second day and he looks at the bartender and he says, you got any grapes? The bartender says, no. We sell booze. We sell beer nuts. And as I told you yesterday, there are pickled eggs at the end of the bar that nobody buys. Again, the duck's disappointed, and he walks out.
Hi, this is the clerk at the Hotel Loathe. You gotta send the cops now.
I'm leaving you, Harold, Louise said outright one morning at the breakfast table. Just like she'd planned on saying it. Just as easy as that. Harold slowly put down his morning paper and looked calmly at her across the kitchen table. I said I'm leaving you, Harold, she said, repeating herself for herself, because Harold had as yet said nothing. I heard what you said, Louise, was his reply to the second of his wife's statements. I'm sorry, Harold. I mean that. We gave it a good try, and we did have some good times. We really did. Louise's voice was gaining in pitch and intensity, her words gaining speed. I see, Harold said. And that was all he said. He just kept looking at his wife of 7 years from a distance of a cheap, square, dinette set table.
How hungry are you? The urge to kill him was not sudden by any means. However, it was extremely rapid. One minute I could imagine wrapping my hands around his throat. The next, there they were, squeezing the life out of him. I felt something in his neck give way. I think it was his windpipe. All I could concentrate on was my work-calloused hands squeezing tighter and tighter. His face was that of a chameleon, first getting red, then a very bright purple, finally a deep royal blue. His eyes glazed over, then suddenly hemorrhaged violently. His tongue flopped out of his mouth, swollen and sticky. Spit ran down his chin as he went limp in my arms. I dropped him and let his body lay where it had fallen. I was very disappointed that he didn't put up more of a fight. What a pussy, I thought to myself. You would think that someone fighting for their life would put up more of a struggle. All he had managed to do was grab my wrists and look at me as though he couldn't believe that I was killing him. What did he expect? You can't just touch another man's fries.